Sup, my dudes, dudettes, anyone that's out there. Let's see what the results were from that last atrocity of a race. So we are jumping in to do hopefully a few little practice laps at the Le Mans. Like I said, it's been a while since I've even jumped in the seat for this track, so I'm trying to just get a few laps in. I'm not looking for anything spectacular. Done 3:56, I think, is my fastest times, so not terrible considering what my teammates have. I'm the fastest of my current teammates as of yet. We still have like 2 weeks. But when I looked up things, it looks like either you seem to be like stupid fast in the 54s and lower, like 52s, or you're kind of where I'm at. It seems to be that there's not a lot of middle ground. Does that make sense? So, that 56 is fairly fast. It's not like, oh my gosh, by any stretch. But it's fairly fast for the average person. So it's fairly fast for the average person. So now I just need to get consistent at this track. My times have not been the most consistent, and I am frequently having little spins and off tracks and things that I need to just clear up a little bit. Still have 2 weeks to practice. Lots of time. Lots of time. See, like that. Just don't feel like I even put that much throttle into it. That's going to cost us lots of time in the endurance race, so it's not really helpful that I just got done with another awful IMSA race at the Nürburgring where I got meatballed again. So not in the best headspace ever, but we're here. Might as well get a little practice in. So, my inaugural spin in an endurance race, my calling card. So far in my endurance career, I have always had one spin. Usually it hasn't been bad, like it's not like a big awful into a wall or a barrier or anything, but I do have a spin. Not ideal in an endurance race. So, this track is not my favorite still. It's fairly boring. Lots of long straights, but the last section has grown on me a fair bit. It's really flowy. You just kind of have to play with it. There's not a lot of, I don't feel like there's a lot of true like braking zones or anything. That should be a, not a coast, but not trail braking through that corner. This one has given me trouble because some people I've seen get away with murder and are way on the left side, kind of like you're straddling that curb. I can't get, every time I straddle the curb, like I see in the some of the track guides and stuff, it gives me an off track. I don't know if the track limits have changed recently-ish or anything, but definitely not been my friend. But this part is the part that I'm starting to really like, because I feel like if you can commit to it, you get a good grip on what you kind of need to do and where. It just feels so flowy and fun. GGP's gonna dive bomb me here. Not dive bomb me, it'll be good. But it just feels really fun. So I like that part. So, hey, not too bad for a first lap, honestly. Little spin. I've had much worse out laps when practicing for this particular track. Got my best corners through there. I think one thing I would really like to work on, obviously everybody wants to work on it, but I feel like I have moments of pace. Like I feel like if I can hit a good lap, that I'm actually fairly quick. I'm not like top split quick by any stretch, but I have good pace on most tracks. It's my consistency that I really need to work on. Hitting the same time over and over. Even if it's not my fastest lap, just hitting a consistent time, because I'm kind of all over the place. I'll have moments where all of a sudden I'm a half a second faster or slower, and there's not like a super reason why. I'm just not consistent in putting together my lap. So I need to be better at that. That's what my focus is going to be, I think, for this endurance race, because this one I'm invested in. Obviously I'm invested in it. I'm practicing and things for it. I'm invested. I'm not going to do a 24-hour race and not care at all, but this one won't be with my normal group. I'll have two guys that I've never raced with that are part of another group. So me and Matt will be in it together, but I think we'll have 2 or 3 others that I don't know. Not that that's a problem or anything, but this one's just going to be for fun. It seems like this is everybody's first time doing this event. So nobody in my team has run this particular event before. 24 hours here, so we're all going to be green to it. It'll be fun. I'm excited for it, but it'll be what it is. I'm not expecting us to win it or anything like that, so my goal is just going to be consistent, try and get more consistent lap times throughout the event. Even if they're not the fastest, I just want them to be a little more consistent. So, that 'tis be my goal for my first go at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. It should be fun. Maybe this one, I guess, how I would think of it is that it feels kind of like what I'm assuming some of like Formula 1 qualifying is. And that part where you're just kind of dancing on the edge through those corners, you're kind of swerving in and out, and you're like, ooh, can I get away with a little more throttle here? Can I, you know, lift a little less? And that's a lot of fun. I like that part of the track a lot. This part of the track sucks. This car ahead is a GTP, so we're not going to catch him. Like that, got a little off track. That one's gonna be an off track, right? Okay. That first corner leading into this straight, I'm still trying to figure out how far I can push it. Because there's times where I feel like I really go over the lines and I don't get a time penalty. And then there's times where I feel like I play it a little bit safer and I don't, or I do, or vice versa, whatever. So I'm just trying to figure out what.
Slow car ahead. Car stopped ahead. Go left. You got the black flag.
Oh my god.
They're gonna hold you for a while.
And like the black flag is just so stupid. It's so stupid to have in a practice session like this to me, because it'll actually disqualify you and kick you out of the fucking race. So it's just stupid. I wish you could turn them off. I wish you could get it to where it would say, hey, you would have gotten a flag here. Next time, do better or something, and then let you just continue on without actually having to serve the stupid penalties and shit. That's what I want. But it's fine. My outlaps have sucked. Anyway, so good to get some practice with outlaps in this track. Penalty, off track. See, I didn't get a time penalty there. Was that because I just lifted enough and I was going slow enough that it doesn't matter? I definitely didn't lose a full second. This track to me, I just haven't been able to get my grasp around some of the track limits. Sometimes I think that's why I like the Nürburgring and like Bathurst, is because it's very, for the most part, it's pretty clear cut where the boundaries are, because if you go more than that, you're going to hit a wall. So, there's your track boundary. But see, and even to that point, like that's where I'm struggling on this track, is that I have a moment where you have off, and if you get an off track, yes, you have a time penalty instead of a, like a lot of incidence points, so to speak. But those time penalties are fairly costly. They're pretty brutal on this straight, because there's not a bunch of corners to slowly like bleed off time or just coast. If you lift off, you lose just oodles of time, and you have this one quick chicane to bleed off the penalty, which just isn't helpful either. Anyway, deep breath. Just start locking in a little bit more. Something to kind of bring me out of my funk. Clean out lap, no issues, so. Bumps that I need just to be a little more wary of. 2 tires on that last curb. Will be good. And you're supposed to stay in the middle of the track here, because apparently it's supposed to give you a little bit of extra speed. I don't think it's going to be much of a difference for me. Because I'm not going to be in a top split. I'm seconds off their time. Not little tenths, seconds. Sitting in the middle of the track is not going to give me seconds of time, so. That we will practice as the pros. Practice as the pros do. GTP coming up in about 20 seconds. That 20 seconds goes by really quick here with all the straights. They catch you mighty quick. Mighty, mighty quick. Little slip there from the rear end. Trick is just to get, or the goal is just to get on the gas as hard and fast as you can out of there, because it's just such a long straight. Seriously, just so long. I like to hop that first one, and then I feel like I get a better drive for this start straight. My best corner there. Fine penalty.
Slow down. You got a penalty? We're cutting the course.
Obviously, I wouldn't do that in the endurance race. I'm not going to slow down like that, but I'm not messing with the stupid white flag. This lap is a throwaway. I'm just not consistent. I can't be consistent with a 4. If I can get into the 4 or like the 357s, 358s, consistent there. Alright, I'll take that. Blurg. Not even a very fun practice session. I haven't seen anyone besides like one GTP. I'm gonna brake a little bit earlier. That corner's hard because I feel like I try and push it just a little bit farther, but every time I seem to push it a little bit farther, like the braking zone, I go too far. But then when I hit my normal braking zone where I'm comfortable, I feel like I brake too early. Oh, see, I got talking and forgot where I was on the track, which has also been the advice from people who have raced this one before, is that you have to like mentally really make yourself focus, because this track is really easy to just start daydreaming and all of a sudden you'll find yourself thinking you're at the wrong part of the track. Never good. Much faster through there. Missed the curb. All good. Here we go for another one. No way! Oh! So aggravating. But that's what I mean, like, I don't feel like I cut that part any more than I usually would or anything. I don't feel like I pushed the boundary that far. That's the one that I've got caught out on a few times, and I don't fully understand.
You got a slow car on the left. Go right.
Dragon bumper. Finally got a good run off that section. I think this one takes 2 laps to get, at least for whatever reason, the feel for me. The tires and everything just feel a lot better after like the second lap is when I feel. I can really start pushing things a little bit more. I Take me to Iron Maiden, baby. Come with me now, but don't say maybe. 354. See, it's like 354, 354, 355. I mean, oh, I guess that jumps to 14, so never mind. Don't mind me. Right there, I got technically a better time out, but I'm gonna start just slowly bleeding a little bit of time. Most of the time down the straight. That one felt better. Glad to kick out the end there.
75 flat succession.
That's the lap. There we go. Tiny little lift there just to make sure I don't kick out too far to the wall. Why can I not hit that?
If they say you cut the course, you'll have to slow down and give up the time go.
I don't even feel like I'm pushing for that corner. That's like the really aggravating part. Take a deep breath. Just here to get some practice laps in. I don't know why Iron Maiden stuck in my head. Come with me. Maybe that's not Iron Maiden, but. Come with me now, baby. See if I can get it stopped just a little bit sooner, then I can really get the apex and really just get the drive off that corner that I'm looking for. Okay, so if I can avoid hitting the brakes there and get it stopped, obviously, that will unlock a lot of time, I think. Wow. So much faster through there than last time. That's crazy. No, this is still my that's still my shitty lap. That's still my shitty lap. I need a clean lap in order for it to change. Jump over the curb. If I hit that curb too much, I lose lots of time. GTP coming up. A little bit better. Really gonna get a tow or anything from him. He's gone. That one's done alright.
West position.